Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's your brother Naeem Muhammad with Islamic Relief USA, where we're working together for a better world. It's Wednesday, and you know when it's Wednesday, it's What a Relief Wednesday. Thank you for joining us wherever you are around the world. Let us know where you're checking in. We're going to be talking about Charity Week, and more Charity Week today. You've been seeing it on the airline, you've been seeing it on the airwaves and all over the place. So make sure, share this broadcast with friends and family, and let's go. It is the What a Relief live stream, as I said before. Thank you guys for tuning in, checking us out. This is your brother Naeem Muhammad with Islamic Relief, working together for a better world. You've been seeing a lot of things on our airwaves, maybe a little different than in the past. And we're going to be talking about Charity Week. And we're going to have some guests from the Charity Week team. As we said before, this is the most exciting youth-filled, volunteered power time at Islamic Relief USA. So we want to learn more about what's happening, see how it's been going so far. And hopefully we get to see in the chat some Islamic Relief or Charity Week people who are participating and doing their thing. So inshallah, enjoying and having a good time. But first, let's make sure you guys know what's not Charity Week.
So I have this great idea to raise a lot of money for charity.
Immediately no. Immediately no.
But it's like this game where there's only one winner. And
I'm telling you right now, I seen what I needed to see. No, that's not what the kids want to see. You ever see these kids on Charity Week? They don't want to see that. They want to see, whoa.
Okay, so like this?
Yeah, exactly. See, that's what they want to see.
That's what they want to see, and what they want to hear more about is what exactly is Charity Week. So without further ado, let's bring on Brother Saim. Hey, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah, Brother Saim.
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going? How's it going?
Happy to be here. Thanks for having me. Alhamdulillah, I can't complain. It's a beautiful Wednesday with What a Relief.
Awesome. Thank you for being on and checking in and being with us today. Can you introduce yourself for our listeners, viewers, and people who are checking you out?
Absolutely. So, as Brother and I mentioned, my name is Saim. I'm currently part of the international team in Charity Week. My official title is Country Support. So basically, they just plug us wherever they want us to do a little extra work. Alhamdulillah. I've been involved in Charity Week for a long time now. I think this is like my 6th year running, awesome. and I've had a chance to work on basically every level. Started off at the institution at my college, Hunter College, graduated in 2018. Worked on the New York team, then the national team, now on the international team. Alhamdulillah. I'm currently still a student. I'm still involved in Charity Week on my campus. I'm a third-year medical student, and so we're still doing that stuff as well. And I love just being a part of it at my MSA.
Awesome. Now when you say, well, again, I know people have been seeing a lot of stuff with Charity Week. Like we said. This week, we've painted our airwaves orange, the Charity Week official colors, and stuff like that, so people know. But just for people who, if they've been asleep, living under a rock, haven't been seeing everything, what exactly is Charity Week?
I'd love to tell y'all. So essentially, Charity Week is 1 week where across the world we get a group of community members, and this can be in the form of an MSA, a youth group, a masjid, whatever have you. Even organizations. We have organizations like PwC, across the pond in the UK, and Grant Thornton. They're all taking part in this 1 week of charity, and the idea is that everyone is doing these events, everyone is doing this fundraising at the same exact time. Mm-hmm. Whether you're in Germany, whether you're in Qatar, whether you're in the UK, Canada, the US, you name it, we're all working together, trying to raise funds for our projects. But the thing that we want to particularly highlight is that we're working together to do it.
Awesome. Working together, and they talk about, and I think that's one of the key tenets of Charity Week is the aspect of unity. So why is that so key? And why is that so key? I mean, not to say I'm not for unity. I mean, and then I'm also known as the I'm not afraid to stand alone guy. So that's understandable. But other than that, why this push on unity, and why is that so important to the Charity Week concept?
Absolutely. So, Naeem, let me ask you a question. I mean, you do a lot of fundraising, obviously, like, Islamic Relief. If I were to right now hand you $1 billion, do you think you could hand all of the Muslim Ummah's problems?
Not even with $1 billion. Yeah, probably not even with $1 billion.
How about 10 billion?
Basically, I'd be giving less than $10 to every Muslim. So it'd be like what? Yeah, no.
Exactly. The point I'm getting at is that, like, alhamdulillah, we're still going to keep doing all this, amazing fundraising work, because the money is necessary, right? We need to do these projects, but no amount of money is going to be enough to solve all the problems.
Right.
It won't be enough until we come together, and we've seen that time and time again. A nation that's united will always succeed. A people that's united will always end up being successful. And so our goal is to see that unity through. The money, alhamdulillah, I mean, I know it's weird for a charity organization to be saying this, but the money is a means to an end.
Right.
The means to an end, and the end itself is the unity, inshallah, and that's where we're going to see change. We talk a lot about changing the world. Money isn't going to be the only thing that does it. It's going to be when people come together and they unite behind a particular cause, and that's what we're hoping to get done.
Awesome. I mean, I totally agree with you, because like you're saying, like, unity, and if people are together focused on a goal, they'll find resources, inshallah. They'll find those resources, and they'll, like, because normally it is the resources are with people. They're not in like some strange alternative universe that we can't attach. These resources are connected to people, and if we can get people connected, they could bring on a particular vision, and then we can get them focused on correcting certain problems. Now, you guys are kind of focused on, like, now with unity. Now you've got all these. How many, maybe in the U.S. and then how many worldwide do you think Charity Week institutions that you guys have focused on this unified effort?
So alhamdulillah, this year we actually, in the US alone, we have 135. Yes, our 135th institution signed up just last night. Awesome. After actually seeing the Islamic Relief, Charity Week takeover.
I had to give a little shout out to that, but awesome.
Alhamdulillah. And to give you a little bit of context, I mean, 135, whatever that might sound like, last year we had 79, and the year before that we had 49. So if you look at the increase that's going on, and alhamdulillah, we have an amazing team that's doing work. We got to understand, like, the vision of unity and charity week kind of sells itself. People hear about it, and they understand, like, this is going to leave behind a legacy, and so they want to take part. So alhamdulillah, as of right now, we have 135 in the US, and I believe around the world over 450.
Oh, wow. MashaAllah, that's amazing. And now, like I said, all those teams coming together and unifying, and I have a video. This is what I'm told that you guys are unifying around, or the effort that you guys are pushing most.
When you stare into those eyes, what do you want to see? I want to see hope, happiness, comfort, growth, and light. For each orphan you sponsor with Islamic Relief USA, this is what you're giving them. Help them reach for the stars and lighten up their future. Sponsor an orphan today.
So that's what I was told, that you guys are kind of unified around this idea of working for orphans and children in need. Is that the case?
That's exactly the case. And the thing is, we see it a lot. I think a lot of times we become desensitized to it. We see it in the media, another country that has like some issue here, and orphans in this country and orphans in that country. And sometimes it gets very difficult to watch that and then be like, okay, like, I don't have a lot of money, so, like, I'm going to have to choose, like, can I only help the Yemeni orphans, or can I only help the Syrian orphans, or can I only help the Rohingya refugees? And it gets very difficult to see. And so that's our purpose. Our purpose purpose is like, why should we have to choose? Like, enough just helping one orphan, enough helping one family. Let's help everyone. And the only way we can do that is when we come together and we, like, bind together behind the same efforts.
Excellent. Now, I think we have another friend that just joined us, Sister. Let me see if I can bring them on. Hopefully, if everything works exactly right. Let's bring on Sister Fatima. Hey, Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
How are you?
I'm well, alhamdulillah. How are you guys?
Good, alhamdulillah. So great to have you on, and you got the little charity week like thing in the background. You're all, and come on, Simon, where's your branding, man? I mean, everything's about brand, bro.
And I have the t-shirt.
See, she's got the t-shirt. She's got, the flags in the background. Oh, and I mean, you're at work, so I get that we're at school. So, how are you, Fatima? How things going?
I'm well, alhamdulillah. I'm good. I literally just finished work and all the charity week stuff preps because it's charity week this week for us as well. So it's really exciting and it's just really nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Can you introduce yourself and tell us where you're calling in from?
Yes, so my name is Fatima and I am Midlands Vice Rep. So I'm in charge of the Midlands region in the UK, and I look after about 20 ambassadors and I help them, I pitch train them and get them ready for them to go out and spread the vision of Charity Week to all the institutions and communities within the UK and within the Midlands region.
Awesome. Now, let me ask you this, because Simon's will tell us a little bit about Charity Week and based around unity and all these different things. What does Charity Week look like? If someone wanted to know, what would you say it looks like? So if someone's like, what? I mean, you telling me it's about unity and it's 100 in all these schools and MSA. But what does it actually look like there? And does it look different where you go or other places?
Yeah, so I wouldn't say it looks different wherever you go because the vision of unity is the same. So if I had to describe Charity Week, it's knowing that if I ended up in the US or if I ended up in Canada or Qatar or in Germany, I know there's a sister on that side of the pond waiting for me, opening with open arms, letting me in because she is also part of Charity Week. Awesome. She understands the vision and we both love the same vision. We're here to help the same orphan. We're wearing the same t-shirts, and that is the power of unity. You can't explain it, but you have to be a part of it to feel it.
Excellent. I hear that, and I got something that might help it just a little bit more too.
Islamic Relief welcomes you to Charity Week, an international collaborative project that unites people to fundraise for children in need. By working together, we can help so much more through the dozens of Islamic relief projects that benefit orphans and children around the world. The fun part is, participants get to channel their creativity in order to raise awareness and fundraise for the projects they are passionate about. Last year, Charity Week participants collectively raised over $1.9 million through bake sales, shaving head challenges, game nights, and other creative activities, all in 1 week. So stay tuned as we share moments from this year's Charity Week events. To learn more about the projects and how you can be involved, follow us here on social media and visit charityweek.com to sign up.
Awesome. It's been so Simon, I know like you yourself, you did a takeover yesterday of the Islamic Relief channel and focused on Charity Week. Like, so how is this year going? And maybe is there anything happening that one of the cool things you showed this Charity Week over the years? Are there what things have changed maybe this year than that maybe happened previous years?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, alhamdulillah, was really excited to get the chance to do the takeover from with Islamic Relief. I think we got a lot of engagement, alhamdulillah. I mean, and as I mentioned, we got a full-on institution that signed up in the middle of Charity Week just because of that takeover. So alhamdulillah, like the love is
doing his job.
Exactly, alhamdulillah. Honestly, Charity Week is looking as phenomenal as always. So last year, it definitely looked a little different, with everything changing, COVID, everything had to be online. But honestly, I think that really helped us just kind of morph into an even better kind of project, because now we've truly like gotten a sense of what we can do online just outside of the regular in-person stuff. So we were always doing a lot of in-person stuff, right? We had our bake sales, we had our auctions, we had our Paya professor, whatever you can think of. But then last year we were kind of forced to do everything online, and that helped in so many ways, because now, I mean, some schools are still hybrid, but sometimes you can't always do something in person, but that doesn't mean that you would just leave the day empty. Right. So there's a lot of schools that have 7 days out of the week, they have like 10 different events planned, because you can have something in the morning, then you can have something online. For example, last night, I believe 2 of the biggest schools here in New York, Hunter College and City College, they had a online Jeopardy night, and they just went at each other in Jeopardy. And something that might not have been so easy to organize had they been in person, but you could just have it over Zoom, and it's a good time.
Yeah, I was telling people before, I think there were a lot of people who were thinking that, like, post-COVID, because everything went online, they were like, events are over, no one's ever going to come to a fundraising dinner again, but for me, I and you guys are exemplifying that, is that no, it's just adding a new layer. Now that you guys had a whole year to hone in your off-site online side of Charity Week, now it's like a multiplier for what you're able to do in person and all that kind of stuff like that. So I'm really, really excited about that. I got a question for you, Fatma. Can you tell us a little bit about the theme this year? I know they have this big heart over me. What can you tell me about the theme of this year?
Yeah, of course. Would you like to guess what the theme is this year before I go into it a little bit?
I mean, I have prior knowledge, so it's a little but...
Oh, fair enough. So the theme this year is healthcare, because we are one body. So like the Prophet ﷺ said, that if the ummah is like one body, and if one part is hurting, the other also hurts. And that's why the theme this year is healthcare, and we're all one body.
Awesome. Now, and the theme is in something you kind of went over this yesterday in your broadcast. The theme is like so critical. Like over the years, like what have been some of the themes just generally, and how do they drive what you guys do in Charity Week?
So a big part of what we believe in Charity Week is that we find benefit and we find improvement from wherever we can find it. Mm-hmm. So every year we try to take some sort of idea or an organization, and we're like, listen, they're doing something right. We need to figure out what they're doing right. And whatever they're doing wrong, we can kind of set that aside, but let's implement that into our own teams. So in the past, we've done, everything from, if I go like backwards, last year we did Islamic history. The year before that, we did Marvel and superheroes. I mean, 2019, when Endgame came out, every human being on the planet had watched Marvel. There's a reason for their success, and we took that, right. We looked at their CEO Kevin Feige, and we're like, okay, how did he get to this point? Because it didn't just happen, right? Comics and superheroes have been around for 50, 60, 70 years. Why now has it become such a big thing? And so we saw, like what they did was they had amazing planning. They knew exactly when they were going to release what, why they were going to, include this Easter egg here. So we're like, okay, let's include that for us as well. Let's plan our events in a way that, like we have connections between them. We build those connections, right? A couple of years before that, we did Legos. Everyone loved Legos. I mean, there's no one that has grown up Legos, without having some sort of building block.
Or stepped on one of them going home somewhere.
Honestly, I mean, I don't tell people this, but now I'm going to tell everyone, if you open one of my drawers, I still have a lot of my sets that I set up. I love Legos, absolutely. But the point is, like, when you get started on a Lego set, what's the first thing that you do before you start building anything?
I guess you look at the big picture, or no? I don't know.
I mean, yeah, exactly. You look at the big picture, you look at what you're going to get to, and then you take all those pieces and you kind of arrange them, right? Because if I throw everything into a pile, it's going to be hard for me to find stuff. So I'm going to put all the blue pieces here. I'm going to put all of the 4x4s here and the 2x2s there. And so we took that. We're like, okay, how can we implement that for us? So we're like, we created what we call the knolling document. And the process of knolling is organizing everything, or organizing all of your processes beforehand, and then moving forward. Just makes the process easier. So alhamdulillah, every year we've been able to take from like Tesla, the environment, from NASA, going into space, and just how can we make our team and our efforts better. Every year we have something new to learn. Alhamdulillah.
I'm gonna tell you, like, I think it was Sister Mariama. She came and did the. I mean, I've been impressed with Charity Week since the first time I heard about it. And because I come from a youth group kind of centered background from a thing called Muslim Youth of North America, MENA. When I was a kid, like, I wouldn't be involved in Islamic Relief today if it wasn't for meeting Anwar Khan at a MENA camp and learning about Islamic Relief, and then, like, I want to do this, and then now I'm here. But I'm gonna tell you, when Mariama did that presentation about the Avengers one, she did it at like our staff all hands retreat. Next level. I was excited about Charity Week, period. But then just to see how you guys really organize and have really thoughtful presentations, that really meant so much. So Fatima, tell me, how long does it take to prepare? I mean, it's a week, but how long are you guys planning and preparing for Charity Week?
So it literally takes up the whole year. So recruitment starts to be part of the Charity Week team around February time, where volunteers across the world apply to be part of the team. And then we have the training session, like it's called bootcamp sessions, where we train volunteers across the across the world, what on the principles of Charity Week, what Charity Week stands for, how to pitch institutions, how to pitch ISOCs or MSA in the US. And then we have the recruitment process where the ambassadors go out and pitch the idea of Charity Week and the vision of Charity Week to the community, to institutions, to different schools, colleges, and then we get them on board and we train them. And the first training that we have is called Assemble, like the Marvel themed, just so we're all assembling together for one cause. And then we have Charity Week after that. And and just to end Charity Week, in a couple of weeks, we're going to have next week, we're going to have the banking deadline where all the institutions and everyone raising money for Charity Week has to bank by that time. You should keep an eye on the fundraising pages on Just Giving. It literally just shoots up.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Just Giving, over here, it's a little different. We're doing it on the Islamic Relief's platform, but it's just like Just Giving. Our QGave and our iRaise, our QGave and iRaise pages, but yes, it's really great what's happening there.
Yeah. And then after banking deadline, we have a short celebration on all the efforts that all the volunteers have put into, which is the international finale, where we get to see all the money that we've raised in Charity Week.
Awesome. Let's kind of talk about how it started, but let's look at how it's going so far. That's a little bit of that was like a little snapshot. We're talking about we're like 3 days in Charity Week right now. We're 3 days in. There's been bake sales. There's been, like you said, there's been has auctions started? And can you tell? I know auctions is a big. What are some standout events and for you guys when you guys think of Charity Week? What are some of the standout activities that you're like, it's not Charity Week if this doesn't happen for you guys?
Do you want to go first?
Yeah.
I can definitely start. Or actually, yeah, I can start, inshallah. You mentioned it, auction. There's no Charity Week without our spectacular auctions. I mean, from across the world. I'm sure people may have started already. They happen all throughout the week. Most tend to be like their finale event of the week, and so it might happen, on a Thursday, on a Friday. In fact, we have a really big one coming up in New Jersey tomorrow, inshallah. A bunch of us from New York are going to go over. It's going to be the biggest auction in New Jersey. But yeah, I mean, without an auction, you cannot have Charity Week. And let me tell you some of the things that get auctioned. We have pieces of rocks that are being auctioned. We got bananas that are being auctioned. Naeem, we had a lota, what you use in the bathroom, get auctioned off in Charity Week in the UK. I mean, what are the numbers? Like when you say a banana, how much can a banana go for? A lota that's like $4 at your local store. How much do those things go for?
I'd say
It's
about 3 times.
wherever your imagination takes you. I've myself, again, I haven't been involved as long as Charity Week has been around, and I haven't been to everywhere, but I myself have seen bananas go for $2,000, $4,000, $8,000, $18,000, Naeem, for a
What? No
banana.
way for a banana.
Yeah.
That's insane. All right, so crazy auction. What about you, Fatma? What is something that, like, it's not Charity Week if you don't have this type of event?
So, like Simon mentioned, cakes, bananas. We had a paperclip. I think there's a coffee pod in Qatar or Germany where they sold it for like thousands of pounds. With cakes over here, they get sold for like the figure that you can't even imagine. It's
Wow.
amazing. Especially in the Midland, especially in the UK, there's this drink called Ting. It's
Okay.
like a grapefruit drink, and I don't know where it came from, but it's really famous to get that auctioned. To be fair, so yeah.
Wow. All right, guys. We're coming up close on time here. As we know, like you said, if people wanted to learn more, I had this little link I've been showing every now and then. If they want to learn more about Charity Week, you could still is there ways that people still could get involved at this late date? Like, what ways that they could get involved that would be meaningful to support the Charity Week volunteers and to support the unity and to support those orphans and children in need? What are some things that they could do today to still get involved?
So there's many ways that they can still get involved. Like you can just drop a message at Charity Week on Instagram, or they can, if you're in the UK, if you're in UK, then you can just create a Just Giving page or sign up by going to charityweek.co.uk or charityweek.com, and you can just get you can go through charityweek.com, and
Hey.
if you go if you go into the IR page, then you can also get involved that way. And it doesn't matter like how far we are in Charity Week. You still have till the banking deadline, which I believe is the 12th of November, to get involved. So it's not about raising thousands of pounds, it's about raising that £1, but being part of the Ummah and doing it together, because that's where the barakah comes from. So join Charity Week.
Awesome, awesome. Oh wait a minute, I gotta get a little applause on that. That was
Oh,
that
thank
was a really great, so I do have one more for you. I know there's like this 10K challenge that's going on. Do we have any
Oh,
10K challengers on the call with us today? Are you any of you guys doing the 10K challenge? Am I
I
putting?
intend to do the 10K challenge. I
Okay.
hope I
I
can
guess
do
I
it.
guess I am now.
Hey, there it is, there it is, there it is, there it is, there it is. We got two people. Awesome, awesome. Oh man. All right, yeah. So Simon, any closing thoughts before we head out today? Any last thoughts or any other points that we need to bring up to make sure people really? Or one thing I do want to say. There's a question I asked last time, and we got some really great points. Is there a memorable before we close out? Is it a memorable moment? We'll start with you, Fatma, since you're on a memorable moment, your most memorable moment, meaningful moment during your time you've been doing Charity Week for you. If that sticks out, that makes you like, man, I love Charity
Yes.
Week because that one they auctioned off that cupcake for 40,000, no, or whatever it is. What's that thing that makes you like keep coming back? That moment.
So So Charity Week is super fun and super amazing, and there'll be times where you have high motivation, times where you have low motivation, but it's quite of a roller coaster ride, and it's really fun. But my favorite moment is when the total on the international annual dinner gets announced,
Mm,
and the people that are announcing it then say that Subhanallah, we've managed to fund all 6, 7, 8 projects that we have in mind.
awesome.
Like that's the moment that gets me all the time,
Oh,
every
Allahu Akbar.
single year. And literally, if you look around the room, everyone's crying
Mm,
because we know what it takes to get there, and it's even amazing to see that we're literally helping people by funding all the projects that we have. So please,
awesome.
please take part in Charity Week.
Awesome. What about you, Simon? What is maybe some memorable moment for you? All those many
Yeah,
moons of Charity Week for you.
absolutely, absolutely. So I mean, the moment you mentioned it, I know I can probably list like so many different things, but the first one that popped to my mind, I'm going to talk about that one. So this was, I believe, this was a Saturday. I was down in Texas A&M University. They had like a fundraising banquet auction thing, and the day before, a couple of days before, I had been with an institution in New York at Hunter College, and they had done an auction, and so they had auctioned off a painting for, I believe, about $7 grand, $8 grand. And so I was now at this auction, Texas A&M, and Texas A&M was relatively a new institution in Charity Week, so they hadn't had too much exposure yet. Hunter had been going on for a while, so I kind of mentioned it while I was there. I was like, "Hey, by the way, I was at an auction, a couple of days ago, and we sold a painting for $8 grand. So let's see if we can reproduce that." And I remember a couple of the organizers, not going to name anyone, but a couple of the organizers that were there, they kind of laughed it off. They're like, "Ha, like it'll be a miracle if you raise half that amount, in the entire night." Just not very. I mean, I understand, right? They haven't had that much. I was like, listen, let me do this auction. I want you guys to see the power of when people come together. And subhanAllah, we had a painting up there, and we have a back and forth. So there's clearly these two people that really want this painting. So the bid's going up, goes from like 250 to 300, 350, 400, 500. It's starting to push about like 800, 900, and then one of the sides stops. They're like, you know what, like, I don't have any more money.
Right.
So I texted one of my friends beforehand. I was like, listen, if any side stops, go to them and go like, I'll pitch in $100. And again, my friend did not know who these people were because we had driven down from Dallas, so we weren't aware of that community. And so these people that don't know each other, pitch in $100, and so their bid goes up. And the other side goes like, hold up, I have friends too. So they combine some money and they bid another 150. And then the other side, like another random person who I did not text, random person pitches in and goes like, you know what, take a 50 from me. And you just have this back and forth. The room is now clearly split into two sides going back and forth. And the bid gets up to about like almost, I think like 3,000 something on each side. And so we're like, listen, guys, you're all willing to put in this money for the painting. One of you guys might win, but the other side was willing to do it anyways, right? So why don't we all just come together?
There it is.
Everyone put in whatever amount you were willing to, and we'll donate this painting to the MSA, and they can hang it in their MSA room. And the one thing that struck out to me, those two same organizers that were laughing at the idea of raising whatever amount were working the hardest to collect the money from their respective teams to get that bid up. And that's when it was very clear to me, like, this is what Charity Week is about, right? Like the money will come in one form or another, but it's only possible when we work together. At a certain point, we're all going to reach our financial limits. But as a community, it's
sky's the limit. Yeah, exactly. Amazing, man. That's really great stories, guys. Really great stories. Like I said, we're coming into our time. Fatima, last thoughts. Send us off. We got a few more days left. Last thoughts on Charity Week.
Thoughts on Charity Week is, although it's a few days, but it's never too late to join. Come be a part of a barakah, and when you give your time and your money and your efforts into Charity Week, it's like an investment that I think of it as an investment. So when you put that time, that money and energy into it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts so much barakah in all of these things that as soon as Charity Week is finished, you can see the fruits of that. So, and you won't even just see all of the fruits here in this world. You'll obviously see some in the hereafter, but be a part of Charity Week. Come join us. Be a part of this one body. And if anybody watching from the UK that doesn't know how to get involved, then you can obviously get in touch with me, and I'll be more than happy to direct you to the right avenues, inshallah.
Awesome.
And, and I just want to give a massive shout out to our US family. You guys are absolutely amazing, and it's such an honor being here. So thank you for having me, and you guys are so inspirational, mashallah, tabarakallah.
Thank you for that. Sam, please, last thoughts on Charity Week before we head out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, echoing everything that Fatima was saying, right? Like in the U.S., if you're listening to this, you're watching this, feel free to reach out. Alhamdulillah, we're always happy to have you, no matter what. The reason that I always stay involved in Charity Week, I mean, I've seen the impact that it can have, right? On my institution level, right? Alhamdulillah, I've been a part of 3 different MSAs. I've had a chance to lead 3 different MSAs, and I've seen the impact that Charity Week has had before and after. I've seen how the volunteers come together more so. I've seen how our events are bigger, better, stronger, faster, however that may implement itself. But I've seen the impact that it can have on a community, right? MSAs that were never introduced to each other are now working together because they've been introduced because of Charity Week. And the impact that you can have, if you get, especially now, right? We're still in the early stages. We're going to look back in 10 years, inshallah, right? Inshallah, Naeem, I'll hit you up. You'll be with Islamic Relief. I'll still be with Charity Week. We're going to look back and we're going to see Charity Week a household name in every single state in the United States.
Yes.
All 50. That's my goal. All
Yes.
50. So
Yes.
right now we have maybe 6 states, 7 states. If you get in now, if you get in while it's early, it's like Bitcoin when it was like $10.
Exactly,
right? You get in now,
exactly.
you're gonna see the investment down the line.
Exactly.
So don't wait, but it's okay, because here's the point. Like I'm not like plugging Bitcoin or anything, but I'm sure if you get into Bitcoin now, you'll still get some benefit. You
Right.
get into Charity Week at any point, you're still gonna see the benefit. Inshallah, you're gonna be looking back, and you're gonna be thankful that you got a chance to be a part of something greater, something that's going to change the world. You heard it here first.
Excellent. I mean, excellent. When I think about and to begin again to close with you guys, and now it's finally we're only on we're now starting to pick up some steam on Instagram. I don't know if you guys are. I got Instagram going on the side, so we're starting to get people now as we're closing. Of course, now people are like, what's happening over here? But we're happy to have you. Instagram. We're on Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. Even Twitter has streaming now, so it's crazy. So one of the things that I'm looking forward to, again, many years I talked to Dr. Wajid, I think is out in the UK. He came to Islamic Relief, our fund development guys, a long time ago, and they were just like, who is this guy anyway? What is he, Charity Week? What is that? Whatever. And it kind of went down. And I was working actually in UK at that time. I came back to work at Islamic Relief, and Anwar Khan, the president of Islamic Relief, he was like, Naeem, I don't know what you're doing, but Charity Week. Charity Week, Charity Week, Charity Week. It's got to happen. I don't care whatever is on your calendar for the year, we got to do this. And I remember we started out with maybe less than 30, way less than 30, and we raised maybe $12,000, I think, in the end, and it was just everybody was like, yes, it's amazing. And though Anwar, next thing he said, next year I want to see 100, I want to see 100 schools, I want to see $1 million. I was like, Anwar, these guys are growing this organically, slowly over time, how things need to be grown. And I'm seeing it happen. And the growth, inshallah, what I'm really, really hoping too is that, like you said, not just across the country, but the way that people know Giving Tuesday happens, right after Thanksgiving or the beginning of December each year, we want the world to be Charity Week is happening. Our university, our business, our mosque, our whatever, we are painting the world orange that week for Charity Week. For me, that's the ultimate goal. And the thing that I remind people, wherever especially when we talk about Islamic Relief, whatever point that you've come in contact and you've helped or supported, you were part of that success. So the first Charity Weekers from the UK that kind of got this going, and then for the first ones that started doing it here in the US, we're living and continuing their work, and you are still involved in the process with us. So I'm looking forward to that day, to see that day with you guys, inshallah. And again, thank you for being here with us today. And this is your home. Like I said, get comfortable. I know there's more takeovers that are happening here this week. I'm always excited. Got my eyes peeled. I think I'm gonna be a part of the Minecraft late night Minecraft gaming thing that they're doing Thursday. So I'm completely sold. I might not be walking 10,000 steps, but I'm completely with you guys. All right. Cool.
Oh, what's your favorite thing about Charity Week?
My favorite thing about Charity Week is I think the aspect. I mean, it just reminds me of being on campus or in university, and just that energy of young people. Not even just it brings Islamic Relief back to where our roots are, because Islamic Relief in the U.S. at least would be nothing if it wasn't for the student movement. Islamic Relief came to the U.S. in the early 90s, and people were like, go home. We have this charity. We have that charity. We don't need you guys from England coming over here. We're good. And this was masjid after masjid. But the people who invited us in, Muslim student groups, the MSAs. I was a little youth grouper that Anwar Khan told me about Bosnia. And those little youth groupers are now, doctors, lawyers, heads of communities, leaders of organizations that are continuing to open doors for Islamic Relief to this work. So that's what I love. It's bringing us back to our roots, the young people, inshallah, and keeping us connected. So thank you guys. Have a good rest of your day, and inshallah we will I will see you soon, inshallah. Take care.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, guys. Take care. I'm gonna hit you out again. All right, awesome. Guys, thank you so much for checking us out this week on the Water Relief live stream. Checking out Charity Week. I'm going to play the Charity Week video one more time for all those lay people just getting on. Thank you, guys. There's still a chance for you to get involved with Charity Week, as they said. Just go to charityweek.com and you can sign up still. Or go to irusa.com and you can still sign up, inshallah. And again, one last time for those who don't know what Charity Week is.
Islamic Relief welcomes you to Charity Week, an international collaborative project that unites people to fundraise for children in need. By working together, we can help so much more through the dozens of Islamic Relief projects that benefit orphans and children around the world. The fun part is, participants get to channel their creativity in order to raise awareness and fundraise for the projects they are passionate about. Last year, Charity Week participants collectively raised over $1.9 million through bake sales, shaving head challenges, game nights, and other creative activities, all in 1 week. So stay tuned as we share moments from this year's Charity Week events. To learn more about the projects and how you can be involved, follow us here on social media and visit charityweek.com to sign up.